Hello everyone, so I'm Chris Loverseed, founder and owner of PK9, which I guess incorporates PK9 training, PK9 online, and my baby PK9 Gear, which we're here to show you today. So we're right here at the PK9 Gear sweatshop. Come with me and let's check it out. Alrighty, so in the PK9 Gear sweatshop, we have quite a few different stations. So as you can see here, this is mainly storage. Got all our tactics boxes here, organizing everything. Alrighty, so part number one is our first workbench. So as you can see here, we have our hole puncher. We can actually do quite a few things with this. This thing is absolutely amazing. It saves so much time. Just look at that beautiful hole. To think, when I first started, everything was done manually. I would be taking this thing here, upsetting all my neighbors, getting this, and just going bang. Doesn't even do it that well. That's why we invested in this. It is an absolute lifesaver. It's made my life 10 times easier. Now, organizing, as you can see, I have so many different clips, finishes, Chicago screws, rivets, D-rings, O-rings, snaps, big ass O-rings as well, you name it. And to be honest, here I've got all my little tactics boxes and it's been an absolute lifesaver. It's made life so much easier. Here we have our sharpening stones, so we want to make sure that everything is nice and sharp. We have our lever burnisher and sander here that I absolutely love. Got an anvil here. I just had a fresh delivery coming yesterday from Ivan Leathercraft, so I absolutely love. If you guys are watching, please sponsor me. As you can see, I've got lots of your gear here. Then over here to organize all, I've still got more punches, organized punches and some of my sewing threads. We have this nice little Ivan bench top here. Then behind me, we also have a rack where we use for storage as well, a lot of our biophane materials. We then have another tactics workbench here. Behind that, we have another storage rack. We have a really nice cowhide rug that we're going to be using to turn into some dog toys. We have another rack for storage of leads. We then have another tactics workbench. We then have more organizers for all the clips and everything else. We have our more storage over there for flirt poles, materials, levers, all those things. There's actually a lot when I start talking about it. Then from here, we have our sewing machines. We have a bar tacker. We also have a K6. Then we have our dog treadmill that has also now been turned into a storage rack. And we have my massive big, it's not even a proper workbench, it's just a folding table that I've done up. So here I try to do all my long leather straps and stuff like that on here because when you're dyeing and finishing leather, you need a fair bit of room. So that's that. And we'll go into a little bit more detail. Alrighty, so let's move on to the next part, but also I just want to talk about why PK9 Gear started. So for me, essentially, I guess I'm very proud of Australian materials and products and also manufacturing. And I felt like there was such a big gap in the market with everybody, I guess, importing products and no one actually taking pride in what can be done here with Australian materials like this blue water rope. It's Australian made, all our levers and everything else. So I really just want to put Australian dog products on the map, and that's why I started. Now, we come to over here, we have another rack. So we have quite a few things hanging up here. We have a lot of our biophane products here as well. Some of our mini dog leads, more materials. Now this thing I absolutely love. This was just a recent purchase. So it's from Rumpo Tech, I don't even know the name, but this is a spool that automatically feeds. I then got this really nifty machine. So it makes my life so much easier because before we used to count all our ropes by hand. Now with this thing here, I've got an automatic rope counter. So as you can see there, just go straight through and I absolutely love it. This makes life 10 times easier. All right, so that's that rack. Now, here we also have another, I don't even know, I think it's called a spool rack. So here we got a lot of our webbings, our biophanes. On the other side, it'll probably be hard to see. We got more ropes. Then last but not least, we have our product tester and the most coolest doggo going around. We have Ninja, who's coming to say hello to the camera. Now, Ninja's on your bed. So we have a constant supply of Ninja num-nums in here. So Ninja's loves the bugsies. Catch me if you can. And it's one of the main reasons why I got started with, I guess, PK9 Gear and more about the brand is, for me, there's so much crap out on the market, to be completely honest. And I really want to, I guess, bring to the average pet owner products that are easily accessible, reliable, and the things that you actually need. So everything that I make and I sell are things that I personally as a dog trainer and my team use every single day and we stand behind. So you won't see any products with us selling that we don't use. Everything I make here is stuff that I personally use or my team use on a daily basis. Alrighty, so next thing we have some more Ninja nummies because she's a good girl, and without Ninja none of this would be possible. She's my main product tester. Now I think it's also important to note, who is PK9 Gear for? If all you care about is bougie looking dog equipment, looking good on the gram and staying up with trends, PK9 Gear isn't for you. If you take your dog training seriously, you take your toys, your leads, your collars seriously, you want something that's reliable and gonna last, then PK9 Gear is the brand for you. Alrighty, so this was my first tactics workbench that I got. I absolutely love it. As you can see, it's a real big mess. Now, I just want to talk about quickly my favorite knife. So as you've probably noticed, it might be hard on the camera to tell, this arm has a lot of hair. This arm has absolutely no hair because this is my testing arm, yeah? So before we use a knife, we always want to strop. So I've got a nice Ivan stropping board here, got some polishing compound. So we always want to make sure it's nice and sharp. Got some nice veg finish on the other side. Then we know the knife is good to use if we can shave with it. So I'm not sure if the camera's going to pick that up. As you can see, arm's completely shaved. Let's get this piece of leather here. Warm like that, like butter. Beautiful. Done. Let's talk about what else we have on this bench. So we got glues, we've got splicers, we've got more knives, we've got hole punches. Everything goes on there. And then we got heaps more storage in here. Obviously I could talk about this for another half hour. I'm not going to bore you with all of that. Right behind me we have a rack. So here we got some of our cowhide tugs. This one I actually really love the color of. This one's a salt and pepper. We've got like a brown and white there. Got quite a few different colors. Got some kangaroo hides. Got some rabbits. This product here I'm not going to talk about, but keep your eyes peeled for it. Then we have more material racking here. So let's move on to the next part. Alrighty, so if we come over here, it might be a little bit hard to see. We have another rack. So here we got some really nice, beautiful Latigo leather leashes. We got some 8mm biophane. This stuff is absolutely indestructible, unbreakable. Then this rack here, we have some really awesome stuff going on. We have a lot of my leather straps I've just started working on. So when I'm making leather leashes, it is quite a bit of a process. So first we have to cut the leather, then we have to condition it, make it nice and soft. We then have to dye it, bevel it. I'm not gonna go on, that's a 5-minute conversation about how we make a leather lead. These things here are an absolute work of art. I absolutely love these. These are our Maybach flirt poles. So these are hand sanded, burnt, leather strapping handles there, cowhide tips, more kangaroo lacing. If you have a dog and you want the ultimate flirt pole, the Maybach flirt pole is for you. Like, I actually love this product. This one here is an absolute masterpiece. Everyone is 110% unique. So check it out if you haven't already. Then going on to here, we have even more bits and pieces. We have our PK9 Gear tab leads. We have our super grip leads. We have our multifunction leads. It keeps on going. We've got our biophane leads. It's literally never endless, to be honest with you. Then if we move over to this rack here, this is where we got all our slip leads and slip collars. So as I mentioned earlier, all our slip leads are made with blue water rope. So I think this stuff has a break strength of around about 750 kilos. So no dog is getting through this. Then we've literally, this whole wall is dedicated to slip leads, slip collars. We've got our slip collars down here. We've got some biophane slip collars here as well. And interesting fact, it's funny that we come here. So this looks like an absolute mess right now, but this is where PK9 Gear started. So it's hard to believe. When I first started, this was all I have. I made everything and did everything just on this workbench here. So I actually like it. Even though it looks like a bomb site right now, I'll always keep this. It has a little bit of sentimental value. Then right behind me, we have a very nice reindeer hide that we're going to be making into some toys. Then we move across to here. These are all our ropes and materials that are waiting to be turned into leads. So there's quite a bit happening with that. So essentially what happens is it goes from over there, we cut the materials, they're then hanging up here, we then grab our bits and pieces from here, we then move on to the sewing machines. So next part we have here is one of our storage racks with storage bins. So here we've got literally every single toggle you can think of, big toggles, small toggles. My favorite toggles are the grenade toggles. Look at those. If you have a grenade on your leash, you are absolutely styling. Then we have lots of our heavy duty clips here as well. So we got our ADF clips here, our Raptor clips. So these have a break strength, you probably can't see it, of 18 kN, which is 1800 kilos. You could tow a truck on these. We've got these in gold, black, also have some in red down there as well. Then if we come around the other side, let's put these back first though. We have quite a bit going on here as well. So we have another, I guess, complete side of this. So here we have lots of our snaps. We also then have my favorite, the PK9 Gear Aviation Alloy Frog Clips. Look at those. These things are absolutely amazing. If you don't know how they work, you literally open it up, pressure based, clip on, simple as that. This thing is absolutely amazing. We then got more clips here. We've got our aviation alloys in blue. Got some climbing rings here. We have absolutely everything. And of course we have another tactics workbench. So in here we have heaps going on. We've got our straps in there. We have, of course, something we use with pride, our Australian made tags, because it is made here. There's no denying that. Now something I really love is my Ivan bevel stropper. So when we're doing nice little edges on the lever, before we start, give it a nice little strop. Then this thing is magic. Come check this out. You can get the nicest beveled edges, a little bit of a push in. Oh, just look at that. That's one part of when we're making our lever leads. So let's keep moving to the material section, storage section. I guess there's so many things going on here. So I guess we'll probably start with our best seller, which is our PK9 Gear flirt pole. This is the standard one. This is the fluffy puppy, which just has sheepskin. So we'll talk about this a little bit. So we got our blue water climbing rope, kangaroo hide, suede, cowhide, rawhide, suede, cowhide, big ass piece of sheepskin that's also reinforced as well. Then this, of course, goes with our flirt pole handle. So that's that part there. In here as well, we have so many things. So right here, we have our, let's pull out this one. I like this one. These are our goat hides. So very soon, we're going to be releasing our GWAs. If you don't know what that means, that stands for goats with attitude. So we've already got some product shoots up. Just got to get them live. Now I should probably fold this up nicely, because if not, it will look like a bomb site when I'm finished. I'm very bad with leaving things in an absolute mess. In here, we have some of our roo tails that we use for making toys with. We then have more cowhides in here, more levers. Here we have our amazing rabbit hides that we use to make our rabbit tugs with. We have more suedes here that we use for making flirt poles with. We literally, honestly, here, there is so much. I could probably talk for another 10 minutes about everything that we've got. We have more levers up here that we use for making our Maybach flirt pole handles. Here we have more suedes. Got some foxtails. There's honestly an absolute shitload. We've got more wool stuffing, more stuffings here. We have our Juki bar tacker machine, the Old Faithful, that we use for making our slip leads. Here over here we have, it's not a K6 machine, but it's a K6 knockoff. So these machines have been around forever and extremely reliable. And I've got to be honest, this sewing machine is my favorite thing to do. I love jumping on this. So let's show you. I love this thing. It is absolutely awesome. There's something very therapeutic about sewing, and whoever said that men can't sew were absolutely wrong. So you start off, get your thread, look at that. It's just something about doing this that I love doing. Nice little back stitch to finish. Pull it up, snip, snip. Just look at that. You got to take pride in, like, I just love seeing that. It looks so nice, so tidy. Nice back stitch. That is just absolutely amazing. We'll leave that there. We'll come back to this. I can spin around. Now, of course, I want to thank Mark from M Corp's Consulting for my crates. So we have even more storage in here. This is where we store a lot of the stuff that we still need to sew. So in here right now, we have our cowhide tugs and roo tugs that still need to be finished. We'll grab out a few. So as you can see, these are stuffed with sheepskin, natural sheepskin. We still got to put them on the sewing machine to finish, but this is probably about stage 4 in making them. And then we move on to here to do stage 5 to do the final stitching on them. Underneath here, we have even more sheepskin. I'm not even going to bother lifting it up because, actually, no, I'm going to lift it up. I'll show you whilst we're here. That box can go there. So these are our pieces of sheepskin that have been reinforced with cowhide. We then got to take them onto the K6 machine, sew them up to reinforce them, but we can get into that later. So let's close this up. Boom. Let's put this back on here. Mark, if you ever watch this, thank you so much for these crates. You've made my life 10 times easier. Then we move on to, I guess you could call it the first workbench or the last workbench. Here is the one that I really try using for all my different pieces of leather straps, because we need something really long. So this is a piece that we just finished burnishing now. So you want a bench that's relatively long, especially when you're dyeing and all those types of things. So here we have our glass burnisher, so we can work that in with some gum to give it a really nice finished edge. We have a few other little bits and pieces here. So we've got our Biothane color swatches. We've got cutters here. So if no one's ever seen a leather cutter, we'll show you that a little bit later. But we can show you right now, leather cutters are awesome. Take this, literally just boom, easy cuts, very happy days. We have our gum, our burnishing gum, our finishes. In here, we have more sewing needles. We've got our little roo template here. We have our massive rulers that I love. So having these boards makes life so much easier. These go into here. Cut, measure your materials, life is simple. So in terms of a tour, that is pretty much it. That is the sweatshop. Alrighty, and stay tuned for more.